Hi guys, it's Ninja Misty here with
Ninja Andrew.
And we are back to bring you the Gotham Collections episode.
Woot.
So that's super exciting. And if you don't know what collections are, they're the little yellow question marks you find everywhere.
This time it's the yellow ones. Woot.
That's right. And make sure after you watch this episode that you go back and watch the Metropolis episode, so you have all of the street signs and,
matchbooks that you could possibly need. That's right.
So, Ninja Andrew, do you want to take us into the wide world of street signs and...
Oh. Alright guys, so we're here in Gotham. We're going to do this sort of, by the numbers. So the first zone that we're really going to talk about here is going to be over by Bane's Lighthouse. So I'm just going to head over there before I take a radar. So I would say pretty much this street here is the separation point between... Actually, here, I'll just take one of these real quick. Okay, so this street here is a separation between Bane's zone here on my left side, all of this stuff, and the Scarecrow here to my right. And the limit of this zone is once again going to be the tall buildings. So, Bane is everything sort of on this corner. So that's going to be the first spot we're sort of checking out here. And I believe that the things that you're going to find here are things like the Joker playing cards, the Gotham Gang patches, the street signs, the matchbooks, and I'm trying to think if there's anything else that's in the Bane zone. We'll see in a second.
Would there be any Brainiac type?
That'll probably be behind the station, where the Brainiac stuff is. So I've got Gotham Central, it's the police files. So there's going to be some of the police files here. I think that those are kind of everywhere a little bit. Like there's some other spots where those spawn as well, so we'll keep an eye out for those as we go. There we go. So basically just, I don't know if there's anything too much like around this particular corner up to the buildings. I'll just go up here and see what these ones are on the buildings. Where are we? I hear you. Okay, so the Gotham Zoo ticket stub, that's probably from the next section over, so I'm going to go back towards... So everything up to this street, guys. Once you get into the tall building section, it's going to change over to the next zone, so I'll go back out here towards the lighthouse and sort of sweep the docks as well. Sweep the legs.
Wrong everything.
Okay, here we go. Technology's Vanguard. This is probably the other of the three collections that you're supposed to get in the Bane zone. So I'm just going to pass that. I'll keep looking. Just sort of doing one good flyover of the zone, guys.
Gotham meetups.
Ah, there we go. Is that the...
Like the Iceberg Lounge and...
Ah, yes.
You'll find those everywhere.
Yeah, Misty knows.
Kind of like your matchbooks and your street signs.
We found a bunch of those all over the place before. It's got another one here, and it is the gang patches, as I was mentioning earlier. So there's a whole bunch of those as well, and I think those kind of bleed into other zones as well. So, but just generally, if you're looking for the detective files or the gang patches, this isn't a bad place to start out. Just a couple more here, and then we'll go over to the Scarecrow zone. So that was another police file. Another police file. And another police file. I was pretty sure that was going to happen, but it's all good. You're going to find mostly police files in this section, but you will find the gang patches as well. So do we want to head over to the next zone, Misty?
Sure. Okay. Yeah, and remember you'll also find those Gotham meetups, because I just got another one of those, the Plant Krypton.
There we go. So this section here behind the station should have maybe some of the like Brainiac style stuff. We'll just see real quick what drops here.
The Brainiac War stuff.
There we go. So we've seen that stuff before, and then another of the Technologies Vanguard, which is another one that we have seen in the Bane zone. So I think it's kind of like the Bane zone bleeds a bit into the Scarecrow zone, and vice versa. You get like a little bit of the Technologies Vanguard or whatever, which I think is kind of like the Sorceress Vanguard from Chinatown and Metropolis.
Sure.
So the Scarecrow zone, I'll just go back over to the street again. So from this intersection, guys, where I am right now, I'll just spin it around in circles so you can see where I am. This intersection, everything to the northwest of here, up to the buildings, and then over to where the water is again there, is the Scarecrow zone. So we'll just fly around here. This, like these ones on this side are going to be probably Bane related, but we can just, I'll just grab it anyways, because why not? Just to show what it is.
Jokerbot. Oh, the cards.
And there we go. So that shows everything that you should be finding in these zones. So if we move back over to Scarecrow. Scarecrow, I think you find more of the cards and the the police detective files, but then I think you also start to find some of the watches, like the Wayne Tech watch collection or whatever.
Right.
There we go. Like I said, so chronographite watch. The hardest one to find used to be the stainless steel watch. Man, that was like, I don't even think it existed in the game for like the first year until they figured out that it was missing, and then they added it in. And
no, it was rare. Don't you remember we'd stake it out?
We'd try.
Ah, there's a street sign. Oh, wow.
Yeah. First for everything. Oh, sorry guys, my habit of farming stuff meant that I had to pick up that bit, so I'm sorry. I should focus on the task at hand. So let's see what we got. Okay, so it's another of the gang patches. Do you have this?
Yes.
You have it? Just making sure, because I need that one. So I will grab that. And like, once you sort of get over to these large buildings that look like, I always think that this one looks like the evil boss's building from Tailspin, if you know that reference. Oh.
Don't get too cool on us.
Yeah, I know, right? So, once you get sort of to the Tailspin boss's building, then there aren't too many collections around the large buildings, and they're so high and low that you end up spending so much time just flying up and down. But if you're on a radar, sometimes it's just easier to fly over the low buildings and collect more, you know what I mean, of the low ones than having to fly up and down in a zone that doesn't really have too many. So I'll just check what Misty's been picking up here. Lots more of the technology's Vanguard, so that's great. So you know that you're going to be able to complete that collection probably in the Scarecrow and Bane zones just by farming them. Got a whole bunch over here. Another technology's Vanguard. Oh, come on. There we go. And another detective file. So just to sort of fly up once again here, guys, like the water's edge. I'm just going to look back at the station. So everything here, including all this around, all the way up back to the buildings there, that's all the Scarecrow zone. It's sort of like highlighted with the yellow fear gas. That's supposed to be the indication that this is his zone. So you can see that there, and these are like mission areas that are related to it. So it does, where Misty's over, it does go all the way up over here, and there are usually quite a few collections up this way. So just make sure you check the whole area, essentially. Oh, where is it? There we go. So another gang patch, and another gang patch. So as I said, they sort of bleed over zone to zone. So the next sort of area is going to be around the Amusement Mile. Now, to be 100% honest, I've never really farmed around Amusement Mile, because I don't think there's actually much out around here. I'm just going to sweep the zone once. But it's pretty much a dead zone. I don't think there's any specific collection that you're supposed to find out here. So I don't think you actually need to worry too much when it comes to this stuff. So what we'll do is we'll head back over here to the parking deck. It's a very specific building. Okay, so actually we're gonna head here, and I'll wait for you here, Misty.
I'm right behind you.
Yeah, no worries. So this is actually Nightwing's area. It's associated with the Nightwing, or I guess Nightwing's under attack. He gives you the mission, and this is the Riddler set of missions. So around the Riddler missions, you're going to find the Penguin umbrellas, in addition to the Wayne Tech Watch collection and the gang patches, I believe, plus your regular matchbooks and street signs. So we'll just check here. Technology's Vanguard. You'll still find some of those around. They do tend to bleed into each other's zones quite a bit.
And the bylines are here.
Gotcha. So like this parking deck is one of the spots that I tend to come and fly around, and then the blocks around it tend to usually have quite a few on top. There we go, so it's the Vicky Vale bylines, Stag Shop maps. That's another set that's sort of spread out, sort of on the rest of, I guess this is the Burnley district. Like, in the direction that I'm looking, you'll find the stop maps all in this rest of Metropolis in this side up until you get to the water. Once you get across the water, I don't think they continue too much, but there you go. Map of Coast City. So these might even have something to do with the Poison Ivy zone, because that's sort of, we cross over between the Poison Ivy zone and the Riddler zone frequently here, because they sort of make a giant X across each other. So I'm going to guess that the bylines are actually to do with Poison Ivy zones, so you want to check around those probably for some more of those. Alright, so flying here, like, we're going to check a little bit more towards the interior here, up to the park, and this is definitely Poison Ivy zone. Got one over here, there's one over there to the left, I think.
I'm not seeing anything.
So yeah, another of the bylines. And sort of once you get to the edge of the park here, everything to the south, which is the direction I'm facing, is the next zone. So we're going to leave that alone for now and just fly around the perimeter of Poison Ivy's park. Make sure we check the park. Also, the end of the street here where the park ends, that's the end of Poison Ivy's zone. So everything to the west of here is going to be another zone as well.
And you'll know Ivy zones because they're the spores in the air.
That's right, that's a very good point. Okay, so we sort of did like a circuit around Poison Ivy zone, and my radar actually just ran out, so I'm going to take another. Okay. So flying out to these buildings here, and then continuing this way, we are going to probably be going back into the Joker stuff again. So you're probably going to come across the umbrellas from the Penguin set over on in this section of town. Oh, and some more of the bylines. So let's see if I can find anything here. If we don't find anything here, I think I found like most of my umbrellas back where we first started with the Nightwing Riddler mission, so I'm not seeing too much out here, but I'll check this one. Yay! It's a street sign. Just what we needed.
Perfect.
Okay, so the next zone here is going to be the zone around the Nightstone guys. And I can't honestly say that I remember what the collections are that you get around here. I just know that this is the zone. So, would you like to do the honors, Misty? Yes. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Luigi. Hoot. Makes me want pizza, though.
Good to know.
Yeah, but, you know, what doesn't make me want pizza? That's the real question.
Mystery for the ages.
Yeah. Let's see what we got. Oh, really? I put it on round robin by accident, Misty. So I didn't even get to vote on it. And actually, let me remake the group. I'll be right back. Okay guys, so continuing on, I'm going to keep looking here. The zone that we're in sort of crosses over a little bit with Ace Chemicals, and I'll just show that here in a second after I grab this one. Okay. Okay, so over here we have Ace Chemicals. Now Ace Chemicals has its own collection, just like the Steelworks did in Metropolis, and the Ace Chemicals zone includes all of Ace Chemicals, all of the, acid vats and everything out here, and then it comes sort of like out this way, along this street, around these buildings, across, and over to where the bridge sort of comes up there, and that's like the Ace Chemicals zone. So around the edge of that zone, you're going to get a little bleed over from the Nightstone content. But once you get sort of closer, like as Misty just found this map of Bloodhaven, you'll also find the cookies. Like the, what is it, peanut butter blasters? Or
Big belly cookies.
Yeah. So there you go, and Misty this is one from the actual Ace Chemicals, collections, and those are for your base amenities once again. So if we go back on the other side of this street that I'm looking down at here, everything to my left here is still part of this Knight's Dome zone. So there's still going to be, yeah, go for that. Let's see what it is. Oops.
There you go.
There we go. Woot! It's happy time. Yes. Woot! I'll never turn down some cookies if they are given to me. And we have another collection here. So, like, the cookies they sort of tend to be in this corner of Gotham. So if you're really looking for those, I would sort of stick to this area. And as you can see, more of the stag stop maps. Okay. And then inside here, you're going to get into the Riddler stuff again. Sort of around where you would fight Clayface. Because that's like the second or third, I think the third zone in the Riddler mission. Oh, come on. Grouplet. There we go. Another guide for the Gazette. And we've got another map. So, like, just if you're looking for the umbrellas, you might be able to find them here. I tend to find also the Joker playing cards in this area. I think because the Monarch playing card company is just around the corner with the final zone for the Riddler mission. And we'll fly by that in just a second. Gotham U Varsity Jack. Okay, so this is crossover from the next zone. Okay, so I'm just going to fly up the street here. Alright, where are we? Okay. So here's the Monarch playing card company here. So some of the cards will be around this zone here. Now, once you start getting into this area here that I'm flying over, and actually I'll go down and grab these as well. This is a bleed over zone, and this is actually one of the weirdest bleed over zones in the whole game, because it bleeds over from across the water here. So this is actually, it bleeds over quite far from across the water, because this is actually related to Gotham University. So some of the collections for the Gotham U varsity jacket that we just got, I'm sure there's a yearbook, and I think it's like the Wolf's Den student pass or something, or maybe that's part of a different collection. But those are going to be over here in addition to being over by where the actual Gotham University is, and I think some of them are easier to find over here, which is kind of random because this is like in the middle of Gotham, really far away from the university, but it's just where they happen to be. I think that might have, see, here we go, Gotham Wolves jersey, that's what it is. I think it might have to do with the fact that the scrapyards here is has to do with Huntress, isn't it?
Yes.
You know, so I think the area around the Huntress mission tends to have more of those collections for whatever reason. I'm not familiar enough with the Huntress to be able to say why there's a connection to the university, but hoot. Maybe somebody can tell us in the comments. Oh, map of Smallville. Do you need this one?
Yes.
Oh. Woot! So, the last zone that's here, and actually, okay, sorry. Last zone that's in here is kind of hidden in the middle. And it goes from about here. So I'm looking down here. This is the tap room. This is a villain base. You can see them all on my map in purple down there. And you've got... whose mission is it that you do here? Is it Nightwing? Or did I mess it up before? I can't remember who... I know it's intergang.
Right.
You know?
Which is Batwoman.
There you go. Well, that's the later intergang. So you'll find more of the Gotham Meetups collection in this zone here, and I'll just try to fly around. This is probably going to be the most confusing zone, so I'm going to go up high. Okay, so from where I'm looking, guys, this zone over here is the Huntress, like the scrapyard. This zone over on the other side is the Poison Ivy. The zone in the middle, from the tap room, which is where my head is sort of over right now. Okay, so everything on either side of the street coming this way, all the way up to where that line of buildings would be. So sort of like the Wayne Enterprise is the main building, and then over to the water around the edge. So it doesn't include the scrapyard, but it does include all of this stuff in here, and that's another entire zone. And you're gonna find, I believe, yep, more of the watches, more of the pretty sure the gang patches and the what's the other one? Yeah, gang patches and the police detective files. That's what I'm thinking of. Just grab a couple more here. Another watch. And some more Technologies Vanguard. So, you know, like, keep your eyes out sort of all around this zone. I don't think you're going to find too many Technologies Vanguard across the water, but, you know, I could be wrong. We'll see in a second. But yeah, all of this area that we're flying over here is still part of this last zone that has to do with that intergang mission. So just check the buildings, check all that. See if you come across anything. So it's like if you're looking for the collections that specifically come from any specific zone, or you know that there's bleed over into other zones, it's only worth it to really check those zones if those are the collections you need. You don't have to waste your time, you know what I mean, going around the rest of the city. Alright, so we're ready to go across the water?
Sure.
Out on the water. Okay. So this zone here, not 100% sure what it's got. Probably has some of the data matrices from the Brainiac War. Okay. Got this one. Let's see. More of the Gotham Gazette collection. And just so you guys can see, this zone is defined by Robinson Park. So, I'll do all of the zones here. So, Zone 1 is going to be everything around the Hero Police Station. So everything on this side of the water. You got the Brainiac stuff, as well as the intergang mission, some of the Freeze stuff. So the next zone is going to be the Mr. Freeze zone, which is going to sort of be like everything from over here all the way over to the hospital there, Mercy Hospital. And then the zone on the far side is going to be the Gotham University. So that's everything on the other side of the park. And then Robinson Park, sort of everything around the edge and including the middle of Robinson Park is its own zone. And the final zone is the south end. So we're just going to fly over the rest of them. I'll take another radar here. So this is like, underneath me right here is like one of the low-level villain Brainiac missions. I wouldn't expect to find too much that's interesting there. You know, you'll find more stuff that's probably interesting closer to the police station, which I'll just do a quick flyby. But at the same time, they might not even populate with that much out here anyways. Doesn't look like it. Here we go. Something random. It's probably going to be like a street sign, matchbook, something.
Or it'll be part of the collection from South Gotham.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. South Gotham. Good call, Misty. Okay. So next we'll go over... Actually, let's do Robinson Park next, just because it's closer. It's easy to fly around the edge of the park. I feel like there used to be more out here, but there's still a couple. As you can see, like you probably want to hunt these down with radars if you're actually looking for something specific. Blight thorn bush, what the heck is that? Man, twisted plants out here? Really? Really? Okay, so that's bleed over from that low-level collection from Metropolis. You're going to find those all over Metropolis. I wouldn't worry too much about trying to farm them out here. There probably isn't going to be anything that's here that you wouldn't be able to find there. Yep, street signs, all the important stuff, you know.
I got a Gotham fan from the pennant out here, as well as a ticket stub from the Gotham meetups.
Okay, so the Gotham fan pennant is probably a little bit of bleed over from the university, which is just on the other side of the park. Let's actually do that zone next, because you're closer, so I'll fly over to you. So basically, once you get outside of the park here, guys, everything on the other side of this street, you're now into the Gotham University collection. You'll find more stuff here, but if you are looking for more of the Gotham University collection to complete your stuff, try the other side of the water like we mentioned before, just to point the direction out that you want to go.
And also keep in mind, if you're going for certain styles, that this is one of the collections we talked about in the Metropolis video that has a counterpart in Metropolis.
That's right. And when you get both of them, I think you get the glasses. The sweet, sweet shades. So there's another pennant. The pennants tend to be closer to the university mission. Sorry, like the one I'm flying over here with all the thrall zombies from Faust.
Also got a detective file out here.
Okay. So they'll be, sort of sporadically spread. There's another of the fan pennants. I'll just fly over the university itself, even though I'm not expecting to find too much. Heavily trafficked areas are there's usually less there, just because people tend to pick them up just randomly. Fly around the edge. Yay. Alright. So the final zone here is going to be Mr. Freeze. It's over here by the hospital. In Mr. Freeze's zone, you'll be able to tell it by the snow effect. That's sort of the very light, white, cloudy kind of stuff that I'm pointing at there a little bit. So it's all over this area. And all of these buildings are. Let's see what do we have here? Nice. I think you know what it might be. I don't think there's matchbooks. I think the matchups or meetups are the matchbooks for Gotham.
Right.
So that's why we keep finding them everywhere. Just remember to check all the buildings up to the park, guys, because it all sort of counts as the same. Some more pennants. And oh, come on. I didn't see what that other one was. Let me check.
Pennants.
I got the one randomly dropped. Map of Smallville, which is I think the one I needed. Woot! Not gonna complain at all. And yeah, these buildings, like with the blue sunlights on the roof, guys, are still part of the free zone. And pretty much up to this street here, which is the side of the park again. Let's just fly, just to check them. And I'll meet back up with Misty. And then we'll head over to the South Gotham districts. Yeah. Woot. So, South Gotham is kind of like just one big district. It's all of the bottled buildings, right?
Right.
And like, can you not... I think you can find the collections pretty much anywhere out here.
Yes.
You know?
More towards where the sub-avatars spawn.
Right. So since the sub-avatars, usually where everybody fights them is on the other side, the direction I'm pointing, not really going to go and sweep all of South Gotham just because it's so huge, but I'm just going to fly up into the sky here, fly over all the buildings on my way over to that sort of section of town, and just see if I see anything on the way. And once we get over there, then we can take a look. Okay.
Not really seeing much anything.
I've got one. So that's the Gotham Hospital Visitors Pass. That is part of the South Gotham collection. I think it's the only collection that you can find out here. I don't think there are... there might be street signs and meetups, I don't know. Chinese New Year red envelope, that's part of the South Gotham. So they're a little harder to find out here, but they're not like too difficult. Because there's only one, I think, collection, it shouldn't take you too long to get all of them. So I'm just over here. In case you don't know, guys, this is where you come to fight sub-avatars. Or where you should probably come to fight sub-avatars. Because it's where you're going to find help. At least or other people waiting and trying to do theirs. And there tends to usually be a fairly decent number of them around this end of town. Around the edge of the water as well tends to be good because the buildings tend to be a little bit lower.
You won't have any problem getting this collection if you come out here specifically to get this collection.
Right. Seismogram data, deployment orders. Like, I probably, just in doing what I've done, I probably have at least half of the collection already. Yeah, another one up here. And I'm just going to head back along the water's edge and do you need the components order? Or components orders?
Yes.
I see. Boot! So we're just heading out here, guys.
I think there's actually like 3 collections that make up the South Gotham collection.
You might be right. I think that sounds familiar. Sort of like the deployment orders or the...
I think we did an episode on these collections.
We might have. You know?
When we were covering the South Gotham stuff.
Or maybe it was just doing the investigations and briefings video.
I remember taking radars and coming out here and collecting a ton of stuff, though.
Gotcha. So I'm just coming back here along the water's edge, guys, towards the Diamond District Station. It tends to be like a not so bad area as well. So if you sort of sweep around where the sub-avatars are and come back along the coast, you should get a pretty decent number of them. Major Crimes Unit ID badge. Alright. So that wasn't too bad. We got probably about a dozen there. I'm just gonna head back over to Diamond District Station. And do you want to meet me there?
Yeah, I know there's court orders in South Gotham Scraps, and I'm not sure if there's another off the top of my head. I can't think at the moment.
I'll take a look at what I got. I've got South Gotham Scraps, court orders. Yeah, I think maybe those are the only two, because that seems to be like what we got. So you can see, even there, like, I got a couple things that I needed myself, guys. Like the court orders and the stag maps. Woohoo! So that's probably a couple more styles that I'll be able to accept in a little bit. Alright guys, so thank you for joining us. We hope you guys found this helpful once again and not too confusing. Please hit that like button, it'll help other people to find this video. And would you like to sign us out, Misty?
Join us next time for more exciting adventures with DorkNinjaGaming. Bye!